Hey guys, Omni here. We are back for episode 28 of the final season of Attack on Titan. A lot of us was wondering how this was going to come to a close, how they were going to wrap it up, because at least for me, who hasn't read the manga, I was like, how are we going to wrap this story up? And I did have some backing from some manga readers in the comments, at least saying like, I mean, there's got to be more. There's no way if they keep the next episode normal length that we will wrap it up in the next episode. A lot of the working theories floating around, the rumors, was that maybe it would conclude in like a theatrical film or just a film in general, or like a mini series of sorts. From what everybody was saying, it was like definitely like, yeah, there's a lot here that we cannot unpack in just one normal episode. So a lot of us were just kind of speculating as to what and how they were going to do this. We got our answer today. A little birthday present for myself and for every other Attack on Titan fan here today. We got the announcement that there's a part 3 to the final season. I've seen some complaints, and I understand them because I do think this is a little bit of a manipulation on the hand of the marketing for the Attack on Titan brand. You know, dragging this final season out for what, the last 3-4 years? It's for some it's becoming a little exhausting. For me, I'm just like, well, I'm just glad that they're not going to half-ass the story. I'm glad that they're not trying to just rush and wrap this up and that they're giving it its just due. Because like I was saying, I was like, this definitely can't be the end. There's no way from the position we're at we can wrap up this story. So they're getting it done. But unfortunately, the bad news is we are going to have to wait till 2023 before we get the actual final bit of this season. I just think that maybe like the marketing could have been a little more transparent about how this was going to be parsed out, because I think that's kind of what's got a lot of people on edge. But I'm excited to jump in this, guys. So we're going to be going on a little break when it comes to Attack on Titan until next year when we return for the actual final portion of the show. So we're going to go ahead and jump into this. So if you're part of the 75% of people that watch the channel, you're not yet subscribed, I really hope if you enjoyed this reaction, maybe by the end of it, you decide to hit that button and join the family. That said, if you want to see the full-length, unedited reaction to this episode or any of the previous ones, you can check those out over on Patreon or become a member of the channel. Gets you access as well. It's just one of the ways you help support us over here, help us work towards expanding the types of reactions we do, improve the quality of these videos that come your way here on YouTube. But of course, I know not everybody can do that. A simple way you can help us out is just by liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing these videos, and help us combat the dreaded YouTube algorithm. That's the real enemy here. But guys, that all said and down the way, let's hop into episode 28. Here we go.
誰もがエレンは変わったという。私もそう思った。でも、それは違うのかもしれない。エレンは最初から何も変わっていない。あれがエレン本来の姿だとしたら、エレンの何を見ていたのだろう。
Damn. Is this when they first came? Yeah, there's Sasha. Aww. The dawn of humanity. Oh, John's like, oh, embarrassed. That's hilarious. He's seen it. Little pet pocket.
これください。
毎度あり。はい。どうも。サシャ、お前また勝手に。冷たいばいこれ。めばいこれ。
Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah, that is true.
そこの僕、甘いキャンディーは。
Does he think he's a kid? I'm sorry, that is creepy as all hell. Yeah, he thought he was a kid. Are you in a kiddie gang? Oh, God, this is so cute.
べて。
親父の記憶で知ってるだけだ。収容区のエルディエ人はめったに食えない。
私たちは気づかなかった。
それはお前の財布じゃねえぞ。それだ、このガキ、また敵国の移民か。
There it is. Here it comes.
海に放り投げるってのはどうだ。いや、右手をへし折ってやろうぜ。二度とスリができないようにな。
そんな、やりすぎです。私の財布は無事なんですよ。
俺はジョーちゃんの問題じゃねえ。何よりユーミルの民かもしれねえ。悪魔の血がその辺に紛れてちゃ夜も眠れたもんじゃねえよ。おい、誰がスリだと言った。俺はお前の財布じゃねえと言っただけだ。の姉貴の財布だってな。いや
あ
ふざけんな、そんなデタラメ。行くぞ。
Yeah, this is definitely staying undercover. Not looking suspicious. Oh man, I like it though, just because it's their character, man.
あのガキどこに行きやがった。
あそこ。
And he stole it anyway.
そのようなことがありましたか。
Dude, it just has me always wondering what exactly is going through Aaron's head, man.
そしてパラディ島から友好を図る本計画も極めて困難であると言わざるを得ません。
とても危険であることも。しかしだからといって最善を尽くさないことはできないのです。
Well, Aaron's gone.
エレンはどこ。エレン、みんなであなたを探し回って。市場の少年、何があったの。
まだ何も。戦争で居場所をなくした人たちが集まって暮らしている。全ての自由を奪われるんだ。ミカさん、お前はどうして俺のことを気にかけてくれるんだ。子供の頃俺に助けられたからか。俺はお前のなんだ。
あなたは。
Aww. Oh.
あの島に逃げた悪魔。我々の敵はあの島の悪魔なのです。
Great.
あの日からエレンは私たちの元を去った。届いた手紙にはジークに全てを委ねると記され、次に顔を合わせた時にはもう手遅れだった。他に選ぶべき選択肢があっただろうか。全ては最初から決まっていたのかもしれない。
I think seeing how they were treating the other people and then seeing how they were speaking about the island was what made him assault Marley. I don't know, maybe because he was crying seeing those seeing the kid return to his people, and that they were locked away in those camps and stuff.
あそこか。いや、どこでもいい。全ては俺が望んだこと。全てはこの先にある。
エレン、世界とエルディア双方を救う術は他にありません。脊髄液入りのワインは改革の障害となる兵団上層部のみに振る舞いました。
ジークの計画に従うふりをする。お前もそうしろ。従うふりをして。憲兵団はお前を巨人にして島に来たジークを食わせる計画を進めている。ここから逃げるしか手はない。
私だって 争う必要も逃げる必要もない。この島が生き残る一番堅実な方法があれば。あの時エレンが私をかばってくれて、みんなが動いてくれたから、私はそれで十分だよ。
世界を滅ぼす全ての敵をこの世から。
そんなの間違ってる。島の外の人全てが敵じゃないのに。
分かってる。でも憎しみによる報復の連鎖を完全に終結させる唯一の方法は、憎しみの歴史を文明ごとこの世から葬り去ることだ。親子同士を食わせ続けるような真似は俺がさせない。
二度と胸を張って生きていくことができない。
耐え難いなら始祖の力で記憶を操作する。
頭痛？アッカーマン一族に特有の疾患があるなんて巨人学や草葉さんからも聞いたことないな。宿主を守る習性？そんなものないと思うぞ。思うになあエレン、その行為には正体も習性もやむにやまれる理由もない。なら巨人をひねり殺せるくらいお前のことが好きなだけだ。
So he was just putting that story together.
お前はどう答える？
Oh, damn.
俺が死んだ後もずっとあいつらの人生は続く。続いてほしい。
My God, man. The willpower this guy's got. Yeah, man. He wanted them all to be safe.
幸せに生きていけるように。
世界連合艦隊、この奇跡を叶えた艦隊が阻止できないなら、これを止める手段はもう。
I mean, what the world's coming together one way or the other to in this situation, so we'll see how it plays out. I'm still maybe a little bit of an optimist, but we'll see. Maybe Eren was weeping before because he knew that the only resolution to save his people was to wipe out these innocents. So he spent that time with them knowingly. Oh, damn, they're swimming. I expected them to be like walking at the bottom of the ocean, not actually like, Nyong! But damn, this weaponry tore through a bunch of them. Yeah, I never imagined the Colossals being able to swim. Where's Eren, though? Oh! Well, there goes your fleet. Holy shit. That's insane. Like how I just launched those ships into the air like that. Oh my God. Oh, they're just giving up. They're just running. Oh, I mean, I don't know. What can you do, really? Oh my God. There he is. Now that's quite the sight. Oh my Lord. Oh my God, that thing's huge. Oh man, it's all for his friends. That's why he actually had a genuine response when he found out that Sasha died as a result of everything, because at the end, he was doing all of this to try to spare them this whole outcome. You know, he was telling Zeke, he wants them all to. I don't think he's lying in that regard whatsoever. I think he legitimately is doing this because he sees no other way to break the cycle. I don't think he's got no faith in humanity, whether they come together or not under this threat. I would imagine that it would last, that there wouldn't be any resentment, any fear left after the fact, that even if it would just be temporary, and the only safe, real way he's got to save his people, his island, his friends, his family, is to eliminate any possible threat. Because if anybody survives, I mean, that's somebody that will be alive to hold on and carry that same hatred and fuel the cycle again. That'll be somebody out there vying for your head down the line in an effort of revenge. Everybody else is just like, there's got to be another way. Even Historia for a minute was like, there's got to be another way around this. And I was like pondering like that moment where he saw that encampment of those other people who were being exiled from Marley, and he was crying over it. So I'm just like, how? There's a couple ways I wonder, or there's one way I read it, which was initially with that, like, you know, they're treated just as poorly as the Eldians, the on and off the island, the way they're perceived, treated, and all that stuff from the fear mongering. And I'm sure he feels bad about it, because like that's just like the cycles of the world being bestowed upon all these other people who have to deal with this as well. But you know, he could maybe spare them, but again, that doesn't guarantee that, because the whole world fears the island devils, you know. So I mean, he could spare them, but maybe they'll again be afraid, regardless of the allegiance. That threat of power, that threat of the Titans, the Eldians, the island, and all that would still encourage fear, and fear eventually will instill somebody to try to break out of that fear through one mean or another. And I think in that moment, he's kind of, you know, celebrating their lives at the moment, knowing that in order to protect his own, he's going to have to kill them all. You know, ideally, optimistically, you know, you wouldn't have to. You know, maybe he could just crunch through Marley and they'd be fine, and everybody who's enemies with Marley would preach and praise to the sun and all that Marley's out of the way, you know. But as they've said before, you know, the whole world fears the Eldians, and especially the Eldians on the island. So that perception, regardless, that would always be a threat, that they're out there, even if it was just focused on Marley, that one day maybe that could come for them, and that would be a shadow always looming over them. And like I said, eventually somebody's not going to want to live in that shadow, just like Eren not wanting to live inside those walls under those rules, and wants to be truly free without the shackles of this possible threat lingering out there, that they might just try to eliminate it to free themselves. So, I mean, like from Eren's position, like I don't see another way out of it. The idealism, the ideal way this could go is, like I was saying before, and what everybody else is kind of like hoping for, you know, the other scouts are hoping for, especially with their new union with the people from Marley that they've sided with, and from the various other companies and countries that they've sided with to kind of band together, even though in a small boiling pot of it, they're kind of a representation on a smaller, like on a microcosm of the greater whole of the world. And that maybe if they can put through it, and I know this is very optimistic and not realistic in any stretch of the imagination, but that is representative of possibly how the world can come together in the wake of this disaster. Now, I don't think Eren was doing this in a Code Geass manner. I don't think he's making himself a villain just to unite the world. I think he believes, at this point, I do think he believes in what he's doing. I think he is out there to wipe out anybody that is not on the island. 100%. I don't think he's lying about that anymore. I don't think there's some ulterior motive. I think at this point, I think it's pretty clear that he's decided what he's going to do, but it doesn't absolve him from any feelings about what he's doing, because otherwise I don't think he would have shed a tear for that encampment when we saw them come to the island for the first time. And I thought that was a really nice flashback to actually see them incorporate and experience the world, for the outer world, for the first time, because we didn't see any of that. And I thought that would have been fun, especially for a lot of the other characters. Aaron's got bits of it from his memories, but everybody else is just firsthand and first time seeing it at all. And it was just sad, man. Again, like, the cruelty of the world too when they get there, and that kid got treated the way he did. Sure, he was a pickpocket. Sure, he stole, but the response and the reaction is just volatile and disgusting, the way he was treated. And then just turned back in on the Island Devil conversation. It was like, he could be an Eldian. He could be one of them. And all that stuff on top of that. Just shows like how steeped into their culture this hatred is. And then them going to this pro-Eldian rally thing, only for them there also to be anti-Island Devils and all that stuff. Like, fuck them. They're the enemy. All the other Eldians across the other nations, it's not their fault. But those island people, we're after them. They're the true enemy, not the ones here, not the ones that had nothing to do with it. Which is exactly the case over there. None of those people around at this point had anything to do with any of that. But they don't know any better. And that's where Eren made that decision to leave the group. That's where he was like, all right. Maybe there was some sliver of hope that he had prior to that. And maybe there's a possibility. Maybe he was hanging on to something. But I think that was the nail in the coffin for him to do what he was going to do. Maybe he was looking for a way out. But, like he was telling Historia, he's got to do it. He'll do what he needs to do. Sacrifice himself for the whole cause if needed. But we've seen the world come together. We had a worldwide fleet. All the fleets of the world united against to block the rumbling coming their way. But yeah, that didn't work. That didn't last long. That was done and over in an instant. But I am surprised, though, the weaponry they have on the ships took out a bunch of the Colossal Titans. It's just there's so many more still to come. Then everybody on the mainland, once the ships got taken out, just started running. There's no defense. There's no stopping it now. At this point, I don't know what else they can do except take out Eren, and that's going to come down to his friends and all that. I guess. It's got to. What else is going to happen, man? It's just one gigantic moral quandary. That's one of the things I really love about this show, is that it never really plays in right and wrong, but in these muddied gray areas, and it makes you shift your allegiances. It makes you question the sides you're on. It makes you sympathize with the people you thought you were your enemy. It makes you think about. It does what very few things actually succeed in doing, and it really adds a lot of depth to conflict and these cycles of violence and vengeance and the perceived clarity and freedom that comes from exacting that vengeance. Like, what are you actually getting out of it? I don't know. It's just really fun to watch in like a morbid way, to like think about all of it. Man, it's insane though, the sight of those Titans coming in like that, and especially Eren seeing his head on that giant centipede-like skeletal rib cage snake body thing, and it's ginormous, dude. At this point, I was like, when did the story actually start? As a lot of us have been talking about that as well. I was like, when did the story actually begin? At what point did the real plot kick in? Was it with Kruger? Was it with his father? Was it with Eren? Was it when the walls were attacked? Was it just Eren always? Where did this begin? And I like how he's like, it doesn't matter. It just is. And I was like, I still would like some answers. But it's just the way it's going to be. But we did see that at least some of our suspicions that what he had said about Mikasa might not be wholly true. That I think he threaded enough plausible information together to make something believable to try to break her from him. Because he knew that she'd follow, he knew that she'd be wrapped up in all this, and I think he was just trying to shut her and Armin down to keep them well away from what he was going to do so that they wouldn't follow him. But he should have known better, man, because they're going to follow him no matter what and try to stop him, save him, whatever. Yeah, man. There's a lot to chew on in this episode. And I'm sure there's a lot of subtext and a lot of things that I'm missing right now. This is going to be one of those... This season in general, this part is definitely one I want to watch again a few more times just to kind of wrap my head around everything. Because I could easily be interpreting so many things wrong at the moment just from the initial reaction to what's on screen. Because I need time to process a lot of this, man. We got plenty of time until we turn for the final part, for part 3. I hesitate saying the final part at this point, but part 3 of the final season when that comes out in 2023. But guys, what did you think? How did you feel about this episode? What are your thoughts about Eren's actions, his emotional state, his perception, like when he was crying over that campsite, how he was getting all drunk and happy with everybody? He initiated that situation. How do you feel about, what's your interpretations on all of this right now? I want to know what everybody's feeling about, spoilers aside for anybody that's read the manga and all that. Obviously, please don't spoil where this is going to go, because I don't know. I'm not reading the manga. I don't want to know where this goes, but if you can, please, I'd love to know your thoughts and interpretations on this episode. If you think I just misunderstood something, if you think I'm wrong, I'd love to hear some thoughts and get some clarity on where this is all going, man. Or at least this episode specifically, on the things we kind of shed some light on. Guys, that's it. That's it for now. I guess I'll either see you guys in the next video, or I'll see you guys in 2023 when we return for the part 3 of Attack on Titan's final season. But guys, sound off the comments. Let me know your thoughts down below. We'll carry on the conversation after the video. Feel free to join us in our Discord. We could talk about it there as well. Links to that on my socials down below. Remember, if you want to see the full-length reaction, you can check it out over on Patreon, or if you become a member of the channel, gets you access as well. And speaking of, before we go, I want to shout out our channel legends: Manny Sherritt, Ryan Karen, Philly Vane, Yori, Corey Scott, Margaret Grace, Mary Bradley, Nate Prouty, and Melita. Thank you guys so much for your continued support. And thank you for everybody who's been tuning in along this journey and supporting the channel. Love you guys, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take care, everybody.